Trang Quynh Peach of Longevity by Vietnamese Folktales. Brought to you by TellStory.net, stories from around the world. The royal court of Vietnam during the Liu dynasty had rules for everything. How to bow, how to walk, how to breathe near the king. Silk rustled, incense burned, and everyone took themselves very, very seriously. Trang Quynh didn't. A clever man in his 40s with a sharp tongue and sharper wit. He had a gift for spotting nonsense and an unfortunate habit of pointing it out. The court valued his brain but never knew what he'd do next. Entertaining for some, nerve-wracking for others. That morning, a delegation arrived from a distant province bearing a special gift for the king. A tray of peaches they claimed could extend life far beyond its natural span. The peaches looked perfect. Round, rosy, arranged on a silver tray with flowers and an ornate scroll detailing their supposedly supernatural origins. According to the delegation, these were Dao Truong Tho, peaches of longevity, grown in a sacred orchard tended by Taoist immortals in the mountains. Eat one, they said, and you'd live for centuries. The court officials nodded along with appropriate reverence, though most privately doubted the story. Still, you couldn't just dismiss a gift to the king, especially one wrapped in religious mysticism. As the ceremony unfolded, the delegation bowing, gesturing, explaining in flowery language, Trang Quynh found himself near the tray of peaches. He watched the whole show with obvious amusement. While everyone droned on about immortal orchards and celestial techniques, Quynh studied the fruits. They looked like regular peaches to him. Good ones, sure, but nothing magical about them. The irony wasn't lost on Quynh. If these peaches really granted immortality, why give them away for political points? As the ceremony reached its peak, Quynh made a decision that would either prove his brilliance or get him killed. He reached out, picked up the most perfect peach, and took a bite. It was delicious, sweet, juicy, perfectly ripe, but it tasted like a regular peach. An excellent one, but still just a peach. The throne room went dead silent. Conversations stopped. Officials froze. The delegation stood with mouths open. The king's face darkened. When he finally spoke, his voice carried the weight of absolute authority.
Seize him! How dare he consume what was intended for the royal table?
Guards surrounded Quynh. He didn't run. Instead, he finished chewing his last bite of peach while officials huddled to discuss his punishment. The verdict came quickly: death. The crime was man quan, disrespecting the sovereign.
You are guilty of the most serious breach of court protocol. The penalty is death, to be carried out immediately.
Quynh raised his hand.
Your Majesty, I accept the court's judgment. But may I speak a few words before I die?
The king, curious what this trickster might say at the end, nodded.
Make it brief.
Quynh bowed low.
10,000 pardons, Your Majesty. I was overwhelmed by the fear of dying young. When I saw a fruit that promised longevity, I couldn't resist. I thought I might live as long as the immortal Pang Zhu and serve Your Majesty for countless years. But I've just discovered something strange. I barely swallowed the fruit when death arrived at my doorstep. Perhaps this should be called a peach of short life instead. And perhaps Your Majesty should punish whoever presented such a false gift.
The logic hit like a thunderbolt. If the peach granted long life, eating it should have saved him from execution, not caused it. The fact he was about to die proved the peach was fake. The king's anger shifted to grudging admiration. The argument was too perfect. If he continued with the execution, he'd look foolish for believing the fraud in the first place. The king laughed, a sound that echoed through the relieved court.
Your reasoning is sound, Master Quynh. If these peaches truly had such powers, eating one should have saved your life, not endangered it. We pardon your offense. You've exposed a fraud practiced against our court. Let this be a lesson to those who would present false marvels.
The delegation quietly withdrew, their hopes for royal favor gone. And just like that, Gwyn was free. He'd faced execution and talked his way out, which was becoming a habit. The story spread across Vietnam. Peach of Short Life became a popular joke whenever someone made ridiculous promises. And Gwyn, his reputation grew, the cleverest man in the kingdom or the most mischievous, depending on who you asked.